Hey y'all, I'm Paige Feldman. I'm a writer and director, and here on this YouTube channel, I'm documenting the making of my debut feature as a writer-director. It's called Back to You, and it's a contained romantic comedy, and I am here to announce that I have officially finished everything for draft number 7, my Tighten and Polish draft. I am so excited. This is a momentous occasion because now I'm kind of done working on the script until such a time as I can get a table read set up, which will not happen until the WGA strike is resolved because we cannot premiere new work, especially new writing work, while the strike is ongoing. And I want to be clear how fully in support I am of this strike. I'm sure if you're watching my videos multiple weeks in a row, you're getting sick of me saying it, but you can't say it enough while the strike is going on and while the AMPTP refuses to come back to the table. So with that being said, what I want to dive into in this video is why I've decided to stop revising right now. Because I know this script isn't perfect. I know it's not a final draft or a shooting draft it's close, I think, but I know that I have more work to do before I feel confident sending this script out around town to potential financiers, investors, producers, or other people who might want to join the team. But I'm not continuing to work on it right now for a few reasons. But before I get into those reasons and that question, what I do want to do is update you on how many pages I've tightened and polished it to. Because last week, if you watched where I was typing in changes for the first 12 pages of this draft, but before I really dive into why I've stopped revising, and I'm going to stop revising until after this table read, what I do want to do is give you an update on my final page count, because after all, this was a tighten and polish draft. And last week, if you watched, I was typing in changes live with screen share on for the first 12 pages of my script, or about the first 10% of the script. And at the end of that video, I revealed how much I'd cut and extrapolated about how many pages my script would be if that trend remained in place. What we did cut is probably about, I'll actually even open up this document, my script at page 117. So initially page 117 looked like that, about 7/8 of a page. And here we are now, we're probably about 5/8 of a page here. So we cut 2/8 of a page, we cut a quarter of a page. If every 10 pages we cut a quarter of a page at 117 pages, let's just go 120 pages for math's sake. We'll probably cut 3 pages, probably get to 114 at the end of this, all right, and now we're back to the future where I know exactly how many pages I cut in that draft. And while I was disappointed that it was so little last week, that extrapolation actually proved correct. I cut 3 pages from this script. I'm on page 114. I would still love to get to 107. I would love to cut 7 more pages, make it tighter, make it feel more succinct, and also help people who could read it and potentially come on board get over the mental block of it being over 110. There's something about that 105 to 107 number that feels a little long, but it's still manageable. In my ideal world, we'd be at 97, but I don't think that's going to happen, and I'm okay with that because page count is not the end-all be-all of writing, and in fact, once it's on screen, no one cares how long the script was, as long as the final film is good and as tight as it needs to be in order to tell the story effectively and in a fun way, or whatever tone, word you're going for in your film. So now that the page count reveal has happened, let's get back to the heart of this, which is the WGA and SAG strikes could last for months. The AMPTP has publicly said in Deadline, completely on record, said that they're probably going to wait until October. And right now we're in July. They're going to wait until October to come back to the negotiating table with the WGA because, like a cartoon villain, they hope that WGA members are losing their homes and apartments before they negotiate again. It's so messed up. And I, like I said, can't in good conscience do the table read, and I can definitely not do it in the way that I want to until the strike is resolved. So I'm going to effectively be waiting months to continue writing the script, to continue rewriting it. Putting aside the fact that I could do a tiny table read that no one is public and no one's the wiser about, I'm not going to do that because I value the transparency of this channel and I value all of your eyes and feedback, and I think this is a really fun way to make a movie. So putting aside the fact that I'm not going to be doing this in private, and I'm definitely, if I were to do it in private, which I'm not, but I'm not going to film it and then put it on YouTube after the strike's over, because that's just kind of scabby in its own way. I'm good. So putting aside all that, why am I waiting months to continue revising a script that's almost done? Why can't I just do another pass, get some more notes? And that's because I've gotten a lot of notes, and I actually have a lot of notes in my outline for the previous Tighten and Polish revision that I didn't address. And it's not that I didn't address them because I was feeling lazy and I just wanted to get that draft done. It was that at this point, I'm not sure if addressing those notes is just writing more and explaining more for the sake of writing and explaining and trying to answer everybody's questions, or if those changes and those additions are going to make the script more of the thing that I want to see in the film. And it's not just my questions at the questions, it's the nature of the questions themselves. And I'll read one here. Why is Ash, who's the male main lead, so offended that Bubby Esta's list was a game she created and not her own list from her childhood? The answer about why he's offended should be inherent in Ash's character and other things he says and the way he behaves. I feel like I might have imbued his character with enough of those qualities, but also I might not have. The solution, if I'm just going by this as a writer, the solution to this, fixing this, would be giving him some sort of monologue explaining how he doesn't want to have anybody tell him what to do. Which I think I actually have something like that, but maybe it's not clear enough. Adding that part in. I say adding because if it's not there yet, I don't know how to make it there beyond writing more. And I'm at a Tighten and Polish where I only cut 3 pages of the 10 that I wanted to cut. So I'm already kind of in a bit of a corner in terms of length. I have this note that I need to address because it's very important that people understand the answer to this question, but maybe I already answered it. Or maybe I have answered it the best that I can answer it. And now it's time to turn it over to somebody else so that they can answer it better. And I'm not talking about another writer. I'm talking about the actor who plays Ash. I'm talking about another person who can take what I've written and add layers of meaning and depth and storytelling by virtue of their performance. Because unlike a book or a painting or even a song, which is Back to You has tons of songs in it, a film, a script, is not the final product. The script is the document that tells the story. It is the starting point, the ending point, the blueprint, the lodestar. It is the thing that unifies a filmmaking team. But it is not a film unto itself. And it is not the final say on everything that happens in the film, which I know can be a painful thing to hear as a screenwriter, but filmmaking is a collaborative effort. It is a team sport. And so once the script is ready and perfect, then it's up to every other department to add their own spin, their own storytelling flair onto this script and make it more whole, more complete, more well-rounded, real. That's what movie magic is. If you've never been on a set, stepping on a set, even when it's a set that you didn't write the script for, you don't really have control over, you're just a PA, you realize you're stepping into another world because there are lights illuminating certain things that are important. There are people running around making sure that the clothes on the actors fit well. You have the editor sitting, taking notes, seeing what's being captured. The DP making sure that everything that is captured is the right shot, and the director creating a contained vision. Production design and set design and props, making sure that the environment is one that is real and rich and well-rounded and feels like it has everything that these characters would need or have or use in it. And of course, then there's the actors who take the words on the page and bring them to life with their voice and their expressions and their energy, and it is creating a whole new world. And the script is the guidebook for that. Without the script, there's nothing. But the script is not the only thing. That is really cool because I can be at a point with my script right now where it feels like there are some parts of it that are inherently incomplete. There are questions that haven't been answered yet. There are notes I haven't addressed. If I was writing a novel, I would have to find places to insert scenes or lines of dialogue or lines of description that will nod towards my intentions. But with a film, I can take this document that feels a little incomplete and I can put it in the hands of other artists, especially actors at this stage, because so many of my questions are about character motivation and presentation and relationships. I even got a note saying Ash is kind of an asshole at the beginning, which is true, and he is, and that's fine. Mitch is too, but she's funnier, so it doesn't matter as much. But the point is that Ash is an asshole on paper, but maybe I find the actor who's so charming that it doesn't matter. Or maybe I find an actress to play Mitch who has a bit of prickliness in her that she can bring to the role that makes those prickly, asshole-ish moments from her shine through, so that her and Ash feel like a perfect match in a way that on paper they don't necessarily. But when you're seeing it and witnessing it with your own eyes and your own ears, something magic happens and you get it. And I've definitely had that experience happen when people see my work performed versus when they read it. So what I need to do next is find out whether those inherently incomplete portions of my script, the notes that I'm getting about character motivation, about character presentation in terms of are you an asshole or are you not, are inherently incomplete because they're supposed to be at this point, because I've taken these characters as far as I can on the page and now it's time to put them to work off the page? Or are there still places where their motivations are unclear, where their traits are muddled, where they could maybe be a little nicer or a little meaner? Do I need to fix this in the writing? Or am I at the point where I just need to worry about being a director, creating a centralized vision, and making sure that I bring a team together who understands these people and loves them and wants to make their world that's just, sheets of paper right now, real. At this point, I'm not sure. So that's why I'm not revising anymore until I'm done with this table read. At a certain point, at this point for me, I'm not sure whether my revising, whether my adding things, whether my clarifying character traits is helping or it's going to hurt by over-explaining, by not giving the actor enough leeway to create a well-rounded person, or just by making things too complicated. Because I might hear this out loud and realize, oh, I've actually overwritten and cutting 10 pages more will be really easy. Or I hear it and I think, 114 is great, and I might need to take a few, places down a little bit, but I actually think it's good. I don't know the answer to the questions. I don't know if the notes that I'm getting are notes that need addressing right now or notes that I need to worry about as I'm directing. And so that's what the value of the table read is. That's why I'm not going to continue to revise the script anymore until after that. And also having some distance from it, a lot of distance, because I've spent quite a bit of time revising drawer in a cycle with just 2 weeks in between that I think I need more. I need more perspective at the very least. So the script for Back to You is frozen for now, but it's not done, it's not final, and I'll continue to share my revision process when it becomes relevant again. But for now, it's not so much relevant. But don't worry, there is still plenty that I can and will be doing to prepare to shoot this feature in the coming weeks and even months. And I will obviously be here every week with a new update on what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about, and what progress I'm making. So if you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments, leave a like if you like this video, and I will see you next week with more Cake Fight Presents The Making Of. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye. Oh, and FYI, my shirt says strong female lead on it, but I didn't know it would be awkward to just sit this far back the whole time so you could read my chest. But I just wanted to let you know it's strong female lead, not strong female, which feels weird because I can't even do a pull-up. And I can do one push-up though. That maybe is impressive. I don't know. Okay, bye.